Joining me now is former Navy officer, test pilot, and literal rocket scientist, Jason Pratt. Jason, welcome back to the broadcast. Thanks for being with us.
Brandon, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
I want you to respond to these Democrats that are telling the troops don't follow any unconstitutional orders. I think they already know that in their training, don't they? So number one, isn't that kind of repetitive? Haven't they already been told that in their training? But number two, who defines unconstitutional orders? What these guys consider unconstitutional could not be unconstitutional. And thus, of course, this would be the confusion. What do you make of members of the House and the Senate making such videos?
Yeah, so I mean, the video in question here, I saw it. I'm sure a lot of other folks saw it.
Well, we're going to play it here in a minute. We're going to actually play it for you in a minute.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, so this is something that Senator Elissa Slotkin from Michigan released, a former employee of the CIA. And in that video, you'll also see Senator Mark Kelly. He's somebody that I've met several times. He was a former naval officer as well and a test pilot. And astronaut, as well as his brother, Scott Kelly, who is famous for spending over a year in space. And so, you know, these are individuals that in my past career I looked up to. They helped me apply to astronaut training myself, to the astronaut program. And I was a Navy select. I was not a selectee by NASA, but I was selected by the Navy and forwarded on to NASA for that. So appreciated them for that. But unfortunately, Mark Kelly's politics have gone very far astray, in my opinion, from his service in the military. And speaking of which, then speaking out to other military members, this is to just, you know, not obey unlawful orders. Well, yeah, that should be implied and implicit in a number of places for any military member. But that being said as well, I think it's important. A lot of people don't understand the oaths of office and the oath of enlistment that military members take. And so I just want to read them. We have them typically memorized as I've sworn in a number of officers and enlisted. We do this every time that we're promoted. They repeat the oath of enlistment or the oath of office, but it's important to understand that there is a distinction between these, and they're found in 10 United States Code, subsection 502, and it dictates what the oaths are supposed to contain. And for an enlisted man or woman, the oath is I, and you tell them to state their name, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, so help me God. So if you notice in there, there's a couple things in there. One, that they are supporting and defending the Constitution. And two, they are going to obey the law, the orders, right? And again, it's implied that these are lawful orders of the President of the United States and the officers appointed over them. That would include me when I was appointed over sailors and was responsible for giving orders. And then, so I want to turn your attention then to the oath of office for officers, right? So there's a difference. Enlisted men take the oath of enlistment, officers take the oath of office. And my oath was I, having been appointed an officer in the United States Navy of the United States, as indicated above in the grade of, and whatever grade I was being promoted to or had at the time. So my last one would have been commander. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign or domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter, so help me God. So you'll notice a very interesting distinction there. One, I do not take an oath to the President of the United States to obey their orders or any of the officers appointed over me. My oath is simply, solely, and entirely to the Constitution, and to make sure that I faithfully discharge my duties. And to do that would require me to not give unlawful orders, to understand the Constitution, and to direct my troops appropriately. Obviously, these individuals, 2 senators and the 4 representatives, all Democrats, that are coming out saying, hey, don't follow unlawful orders. Well, great. Okay, that's good. Those are good reminders. But obviously what they're doing is they are implying that they're receiving unlawful orders at this time. And I don't believe that's the case. I would look back to a time when I was in the military prior to my retirement, where I was given an unlawful order. I was given an unlawful order to take an experimental so-called vaccine, and I refused to obey that. That was an unlawful order. I was in the process of retiring, but in any case, so I wasn't really required to follow that. I got out before they made it a point upon which that they did discharge a lot of officers enlisted for disobeying or being unwilling to follow that unlawful order. Interestingly enough, now the military, the Pentagon, has turned around and forgiven those troops and acknowledged that this was an unlawful order and that they are welcome back in the military if they so desire to return.
Let's play this clip before I ask you a few questions about it. Here's the clip. I think a lot of you by now have seen it, but here it is just for the context.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
All right. Do you believe that this is part of maybe one of them's former CIA, I guess? Do you not believe that the CIA has had propaganda and plans on how they disrupt in other countries? And is there a dark side of the CIA, black hats, kind of a shadow CIA or shadow intel group that is fomenting the same tactics they used in other countries to undermine those nations? Are they using those here now in America?
Oh, absolutely. I think they've been using their tactics to disrupt American politics for some time now. This is something through a variety of operations that the military has been engaged in particular the CIA, for decades, maybe even since its founding. And I think they have turned it inside. There's been a color revolution underway here in America, a kind of a soft civil war that has obviously turned hot with the shootings of, at least two attempts on President Trump, candidate Trump at the time, and then we have the shooting of Charlie Kirk. So this is turned hot as far as murder and people being killed because of political views.
Do you, by the way, think that Charlie Kirk, that was a professional hit? I don't believe that young man did the shooting. Maybe he did, but I don't know. But maybe if he did, I think he was under some kind of control by somebody. He had to have some assistance. I don't know where are the videos of him, casing or, looking at the venue in advance. But I don't think he acted alone, whether it's the ability, it's communications, intelligence, all that needs to go there. I don't think he acted alone. But do you see that as being a professional job at some level, the assassination of Kirk?
Yeah, there's a lot in that situation that we're not being told. There's a lot of information that's missing. It's the shot that was taken there against Kirk. I've been looking at analyzing as a firearms instructor, a firearms enthusiast, firearms licensee for a dealer, and I do not believe that a 30-06 took out Charlie Kirk.
Do you believe the shot came from that direction? You think there was a different shooter in a different direction?
I think there was a different weapon, and there's a lot of things again, just like in Pennsylvania, in Butler with the attempted assassination of Trump. Look how quickly the crime scene was cleaned up. Incredibly fast cleanup. No time to do really any forensics of the actual crime scene. Things were washed away very quickly. Destruction of evidence. That's very similar in both situations. And then we are finding out more and more that there did seem to be some online connections and similarities between both shooters in Pennsylvania and in Utah. So there's something much more going on here. And I think maybe we'll get more of the information. But yeah, I don't think that was a lone gunman that just was radicalized. They were clearly radicalized, and they're working hard to radicalize people. So that is certainly part of the PSYOP. I think these senators have been radicalized, whether on their own or through, again, the PSYOPs that have been going on, or political mischief, or who knows what else, bribery or what have you, other crimes. But this is a very serious situation. The rhetoric from the Democrats has not cooled off at all. It has continued to be very bold, very strong rhetoric, inciting violence. Actually inciting violence, and now inciting subterfuge and treason against our country, and dereliction of duty to our military, directly urging them to disregard the administration that was placed in constitutionally by a vote. And so it's shocking, really, that they're getting away with it, that they're so emboldened to take such steps.
I'm addressing this with all my guests tonight, and I did again on radio today. Alex Newman, reporting from Brazil, the COP30 conference with us today at 1:00 Central, had not seen this. I emailed it to him. He was able to bring it up and look at it. I want to show it to you tonight as well. This is The Economist magazine. Patrick Wood, Alex Newman all know that this is really the premier. This is the premier globalist magazine. Okay, this is it, folks. I don't know why you guys are having a hard time. Zoom out so they can see the headline. Yeah, you're bad. That's right. There we go. Thank you, my friend. The World Ahead 2026. Now I will zoom in. I think what you're going to find interesting, Jason, as you know, my documentary in 2028, Sabotage, had a lot about the Club K cargo system that allows a cargo container to house 2 to 4 silos. Up pops the lid by satellite command, and out can shoot 2 to 4 missiles, depending on how many silos you have. Notice that this is what's going on here. And it's getting a command from a satellite. And it's shooting at America's 250th birthday cake. I mean, I kind of find that interesting that we've been warning about this since 2018, if not before, but our documentary came out in 2018. I don't know what's going on with this fist in the air. I don't know if that's the fist of Donald Trump, fight, but now they've got a handcuff on it coming out of the 250th cake with the American flag obscured behind it. I don't know if they're implying they're going to arrest this guy. I don't know what they're implying here. There are pills spilled all over this map. We have the swords of Islam crossed. We have a map that appears to be a map of a dollar collapse, because you see coins with Lincoln, but then spilling off of the dollar collapse graph are nothing but dollars and a red dollar sign. So the dollar collapsing appears to be. We have Donald Trump on one side of the dollar collapse, and you have Xi Jinping on the other side. Back behind Trump, you have, looks like, the leader of India. You have a lot of pills, you have a lot of shots, you have rockets, you have tanks. I have no idea. They have satellites everywhere. You've got robots as well, like the fighting dog robots. I have no idea but this is what they're saying. The Globus magazine says lies ahead. As a military guy, as a historian, as a Christian, what do you make of this? They seem to like to telegraph, don't they?
Oh, exactly. That's what I was going to say. If you just even go back and look at the Olympic Games and the ceremony, particularly the closing ceremony in Beijing, what did they have? They basically were presenting a global pandemic in China from the Olympics years before it actually happened for real. And so they absolutely do telegraph, which is shocking. I think if you consider it as a spiritual war that is raging, Satan always wants to get the credit, right? And he wants to kind of put it out there and kind of gain his own sick type of pleasure out of getting the credit, getting recognition, and taking the blame, if you will. But to him, it's not blame; it's a treasure. And for sure, I've been following the Club K car capabilities for a long time, watching which shipping companies are going to the correct ports to be able to pick those up. These same shipping companies have agreements, leases with like one of the busiest ports in America. That's Port Canaveral, right next to Canaveral Space Force Station and Kennedy Space Center, our busiest spaceport, where there's numerous launches now going off weekly. And they can get into numerous ports of Wilmington, and just offload these containers that look nothing more than just a semi-truck container, park them somewhere, and certainly they can activate them at probably a moment's notice and fire off missiles from within the United States.
For which we have no defense system for, do we? That close in?
Depends. So I think in general, we're not really looking for missile launches from within the United States targeting the United States. If there were missile launches, we would be aware of them pretty quickly. But I think without enough time to really do anything significant about it. So I think something like Trump's Golden Dome that he's touting, it would certainly help an awful lot, particularly if the TTPs, the tactics, techniques, and procedures were developed in such a way to allow us to monitor internal or within the wire, inside the wire of the American ADIZ, Air Defense Initiation Zone or Inclusion Zone, to take care of a threat that would emanate from or originate from within our the CONUS, right, the continental United States.
Very perilous times indeed. What is your website where people can follow you, Jason?
Actually, right now I've kind of taken a break from any websites. So I don't have anything right now. I've been working, like I said, the launch of business has been very busy. So I've been working a lot with.
So you're working for a contractor. You're out of the military. You're working for a contractor, and you're launching stuff.
Correct. Yeah, I'm retired from the Navy and working the space industry pretty heavily. It's a fantastic time right now. Very busy, a lot of excitement, a lot going on. So I've been pretty neck deep in that for right now.
And it's kind of interesting because that map, that graphic of The Economist has satellites all over it. So I find that very interesting that they're making a big deal out of the satellites. And the satellites, I don't know if those satellites are giving commands to these robots down on the ground or what's going on, but I find it interesting that they're making a big deal out of the satellites.
Definitely, yeah, they're telegraphing a lot. The satellites are doing a lot. They're doing Earth observation. They're certainly sending commands, communications as well, globally. So, and then obviously with the development of the Space Force, there's a lot going on in space that's more than what had been in the past, I guess you would say, between competing nations.
As a guy who's been in the national intelligence arena pretty deep, I'm guessing you, like my family, have stocked up 2-3 years worth of freeze-dried food and all kinds of other preparations because you realize how fragile the whole system is.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. Even with a friendly president, a president actually does truly care for this nation, and it's astonishing to me to see again the politics and the rhetoric that's out there, as if Trump is the one destroying the country when they have been doing it vigorously for at least 16 years or more. And we're starting to see things improve. Our military is improving. the retention rates are improving. Volunteering and people coming in to the recruitment is through the roof. Our economy is improving. Everything's improving, and somehow they want to lie to us and tell us that Trump's destroying the country. Well, even though we have a friendly president and administration that is doing his best to make America great again, as he clearly declares, we cannot sit back and take things for granted. Dangerous times are still here, and they are just going to increase. The next Democrat that gets into office is going to, I think, push this country beyond the brink. Biden, the Biden regime came very, very close to it. And Harris, had she gone in, would have finished the job for sure. So there's no time to relax. Yes, maintain a security posture plan for your family within your neighborhood. Have rations, have food for at least 6 months to a year. Ways to obtain water, to purify water, to boil water without electricity or even gas. So you need your own capability to warm and cook that way, as well as, I would say, more kinetic defense capabilities within yourself, and maybe even some intelligence capabilities, understanding how shortwave, longwave radios work, how maybe the ham novice radio, but you don't need a ham license, understanding various communications capabilities outside of your cell phones, and having capabilities with your whole family, and get to know your neighbors and set up what we would call defense in depth. You need a layered system that starts at your front door and moves outward.
Wow. Excellent. Well, there you go. Jason Pratt, as always, Jason, thanks for being with us.
Certainly. Thank you for having me.
Good seeing you again. Jason Pratt checking in tonight. I plug his socials and everything, but he doesn't have them right now. He's involved in other work and not out on the radar as much. By the way, you can get a lot of the gear, freeze-dried food, heaters, generators, all kinds of stuff. Two places, worldviewstore.com, worldviewstore.com to get the freeze-dried food, medical gear, heaters, all kinds of stuff, worldviewstore.com. If you want to get a solar generator like I have as a backup, then you can do that at worldviewtalk.com, worldviewtalk.com. Probably better if you use that 866 number. Tell them what it is you're looking to accomplish, how much you're looking to run, and they will tell you the size of the solar generator you need. That number is 1-866-738-3224, 1-866-738-3224. All right, we'll be right back after this break.